We are on the record. This is the beginning of media number 1 in the deposition of Bret Rosen in the matter of George Sharp versus Bret Rosen. Case number is 3-7-2023 0000 3425 CU DFCTE. Held at 12636 High Bluff Drive, San Diego, CA 92130. This deposition is being taken on behalf of plaintiff on August 15th, 2024 at 9:55 a.m. The court reporter today is Rose Marie Cazarovich. I am Christian Ruiz de Chavez, the videographer, on behalf of First Legal Depositions located in Los Angeles, California. This deposition is being videotaped at all times unless specified to go off the video record. Would all present please identify themselves, beginning with the noticing attorney, please.
David Keithley, representing the plaintiff George Sharp.
Stephen Farkas, on behalf of the deponent, Bret Rosen.
Good morning, Narmeen Shaheen, also on behalf of defendant Bret Rosen.
George Sharp, plaintiff.
Thank you, everyone. Will the court reporter please swear the witness?
Good. Mr. Rosen, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Rosen. And is that how you pronounce your name? Is it Rosen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
thank
everyone else pronounces it.
you. Okay. I represent George Sharp. We're going to be taking your deposition today. I want to go through a couple of ground rules before we get started. Purpose of today's deposition is to gather information under oath that may be used in court. Your testimony today is just as binding as if you were testifying in front of a judge and jury. Do you understand that?
I'm well versed in this.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Very well versed in this.
Okay. So that's a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a yes.
Thank you. You say you're well versed in it. What do you mean by that?
I know how this process works.
Okay. Have you been through this before?
I know how this process works, sir.
Have you been through this before?
I know how this process works, sir.
This will go a lot easier.
I know it from my work history. That's how I know it.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with me going through depositions. So no.
Okay. So you don't know it by going through depositions?
No, of course not.
Okay. Got it. Okay. If you don't understand a question, let me know. I'll see if I can rephrase it or clarify it.
No problem.
I want to make sure that you understand the questions that I'm asking and that we're on the same page so that we're creating a clean record. It's also important that you pause after a question to give Mr. Farkas, your attorney, an opportunity to interject any objections that he may have.
You gotta do
Oh,
this,
okay.
because
Okay.
that way they can tell the judge that we all have the
I
same
got
set
it.
of rules. That's how it usually
No problem.
is. Yeah.
We're going to be looking at some documents during the deposition. I don't know if you've done it this way before, but we're going to be looking at them on the computer as opposed to paper copies. As with any document, if you want to look at other parts or have me zoom in, I'll be controlling it on my computer. So you can let me know and I'll focus on a different part of the document. You'll have an opportunity to review your transcript after the deposition today. You can make changes to it if you'd like, but I will warn you that if you make any substantive changes, we will comment on those at trial. In terms of breaks, I'm used to taking breaks about once every hour.
Wherever you want. It's fine with me.
If you need a break more frequently than that, just let me know. The only thing I ask is that you don't ask to take a break while we're in the middle of a question that hasn't been answered yet.
I won't do that. It would just be if I had to go to the bathroom, I promise. I go to the bathroom a lot. I drink a ton of water, so I'm just
No
letting you know.
problem. Throughout this deposition, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about what you did to prepare. I don't want to know anything that you and your attorneys talked about.
I understand.
I am entitled to know some of the facts around those meetings, but I don't want to delve into those communications. I want to make that clear up front, that if I ask a question like, what did you do to prepare for today's deposition, I don't want you to start telling me what you and Mr. Farkas talked about. Okay.
Got it.
Do you have any questions about the instructions before we jump in?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. Can you state your full name and address for the record?
Bret David Rosen. Oh, my address, 2856 Torrey Pines Road, La Jolla, California, 92037.
How long have you lived there?
10 years.
Where'd you live before that?
I don't live in that address, by the way.
Oh, you don't live there?
No, it's just my office.
Oh, office address. What's your home address?
I don't really see the relevance in my home address.
We'll accept service for him, so.
Yeah, I don't see any relevance in my home address. I worked very hard to keep it away from people, like, you know what I mean? I got enough people coming to my house to try to extort me for money, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like to keep the crazies away as much as I can.
How'd you get to the deposition today?
A car, I drove myself.
Okay, can I see your driver's license?
Sure, no problem. It says 2856 Toy Pines Road on it. I don't give a shit at all, so I can knock himself out. Let's see. There you go.
Thanks, we can just show it to the camera on the record here. Oh,
Got it.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. I don't live in Boca. I know that.
Have you ever used any other names?
Yeah, my name at birth was Bret Haxbacker. My parents got divorced. My mother's maiden name is Rosen. We all went back to Rosen. Simple as that. It's not a fictitious made-up name at all.
How long ago was that?
Several years ago. Let's see, 9, 8, 9, 10. My mother went back to it years and years before that, and so did my sister. But then my sister's since gotten married, and her name is no longer Rosen.
Oh, okay.
So
you went back to it 9 or 10 years ago?
officially, yeah. Like went to a court and did it. It was such a hassle. The whole I can't even believe women have to do this when they get married. It's a nightmare. Seriously,
My girlfriend's going through it right
it's
now.
unreal. And then it was funny. Well, whatever. Never mind. It was a long process.
So, your parents were divorced when you were a kid, though?
Yeah. Like a long time, like in the 90s.
Okay, but you waited until just 8 or 9 years ago to change.
Because it didn't actually go through official for a long time. Like my father left in 1992, but I don't think the divorce went through for years and years after that. And my mother was still a school teacher, so a 4th grade school teacher. It wouldn't have been beneficial for her to change her name in the middle. So she waited till she retired when she was 58 or 60, whatever. I don't know what age she was when she retired.
So you all changed your names at the same time?
Mine was a few years later. It wasn't all at the same time, no.
Okay. Okay, so your mom and your sister changed their names.
Yeah, in around when I graduated high school, I would say maybe or went to college, 98, 99, somewhere around there.
Okay. Do you have any other siblings?
No.
One of the admonitions I didn't talk about, have you consumed any alcohol, drugs, any sort of substances that might, and let me finish the question, might impact your ability to testify accurately here today?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't even know, 2 or 3 maybe.
For what?
One was a DUI. One was driving without a driver. I didn't realize my driver's license was suspended. It was a long, long time ago. I went in for 1 second. They let you out. It wasn't bailed out or anything. And then in 2002, October of 2002, I got arrested in October 12th for possession of a controlled substance.
What was that controlled substance?
Hold on a second. So this has nothing to do with his veracity at trial, so I think it's privacy.
Well, I would agree, except for I've seen the cross complaint that you guys filed previously, and you guys have been raising issues about allegations that were made by Mr. Sharp. So I think we need to understand what it is.
What drug was it?
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Okay.
I wasn't accused of selling it. I never got convicted of selling it. I never got convicted of a felony. So all of it is false. Correct. You're right. But let's get all this on the record. I think that's a good idea.
That's what we're here to do.
Perfect.
Okay. Have you ever been? Well, actually, let me back up just a little bit. You mentioned a DUI first. When was that?
The DUI was right after my name change. I think it was so shitty. Sorry. It was so bad. It was I had to go to court right afterwards. Seriously. The DUI must have been January of 15. Does that sound right? Does that sound right? I'm guessing. I think it's January 15. If not, it's January 14. It's one of those two.
Okay, January 14 or 15. That's close enough. Driving without a license or with a suspended license. When was that?
Oh, I don't even know. 10 years ago at least. I mean, more than that. I was in my late 20s probably. Oh no, I hadn't even moved here yet. Never mind. This is probably like 2004. I mean, like a long,
2004.
yeah, like a long time ago.
Okay. So you said you hadn't moved here. Have you been arrested anywhere? Is this all of the arrests
Yeah,
anywhere?
ever.
In any
Yeah,
state?
that's
okay,
it.
okay. And then you said October 2002, arrested for possession of a controlled substance. Where was that?
In Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. Were you convicted?
No.
No. Were you taken to jail
You mean that night?
that night?
Oh yeah, of course. It was like a
Okay.
regular arrest. I spent the night in jail. I got bailed out the next morning. You know, like a
Okay.
normal whatever, I
Okay.
guess.
Did you go through any court proceedings?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had an arraignment. I had like,
Okay.
like real stuff. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. But you weren't convicted. Did you have a trial?
No. Everything was pled out immediately. Like I did nothing. I got nothing. I think I went to a couple meetings. I got no jail time. I got no anything. I got no felony. That's for sure.
Okay. All right. And so those are the arrests. Have you ever been convicted of any crime?
Never.
Okay. Have you ever been to prison?
Nope. Never. I mean, except wait. You mean prison like a sentence, correct?
Not-
Like where I
not
was
just
sentenced by a
jail.
court, correct?
Yeah, where you were sentenced.
Never. I've never ever been sentenced to prison or spent 1 minute in prison ever.
Okay.
I have spent in holding cells in jail, a drunk tank that one time, like nonsense stuff. I get it.
Answer his question.
No problem.
Have you ever used cocaine?
Don't answer. Hold on. That's not an appropriate question. I instruct him not to answer that.
So you're instructing him not to
I'm
answer on
instructing
I'm
him not
going to
to
answer it.
on what?
No.
Sorry, on what basis? Because
He has a Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate himself.
but he has made. Well,
The-
okay.
the,
So
the
if he's
allegation is that
taking-
he sells cocaine to children. That has nothing to do with that. That everything you've asked for is unrelated to the actual statement that your client made.
Yeah, crack dealers don't
So-
sell crack, right?
Hold on, let me do
Yeah,
this.
or don't use
So
crack.
no,
or whatever it is.
no, that all of his questioning is irrelevant to what statements were actually made. I've been somewhat lenient, but no more. Like there will be no more questioning on this. If it's not related to the statement that we're claiming is false.
have you ever sold cocaine
Never in my entire life.
to anyone?
Never.
Did you ever have a felony conviction expunged?
Never. It'd be hard to have a felony conviction if I'd never been to prison.
Have you ever been
Just answer
deposed?
that.
Have you ever been deposed before? Have you ever had your deposition taken before?
Yes.
How many times?
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Could you give me an estimate?
One.
One time?
One.
Before this?
Sure.
Okay. Do you remember the
No
circumstances
idea. I
of
don't
that?
remember at all. It was some nonsense insurance thing from when I was a child. It was years and years and years ago.
Okay.
It has no bearing on anything.
Okay.
It was like a car accident thing that I witnessed. That's it.
Oh, I
It had
see.
nothing to do with anything. Like,
So-
you know.
So you were deposed in an automobile accident case.
Yes.
As a witness.
As a teenager.
As a teenager. Okay.
Because someone
Approximately
was
what
trying
year?
to get money for some nonsense from a hit and or accident or something, and I saw the accident, and they called me. I didn't know the people at all. I just was the witness at the time. I was at the red light when the accident happened. That's it.
Understood. Approximately what year was that?
97, 98, somewhere in that neighborhood. I might have been a junior or senior in high school.
Okay. How many public companies have you invested in?
In my entire life,
Yeah.
30, maybe 40. I don't know.
Can you list them out? As many as you can.
Hold on a second. Is this public knowledge?
Of course, it's public. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
of course, everything's public knowledge. I mean, yeah. I
They're
mean,
public companies.
Yeah. I mean, can I list them out? Like, I mean, like from the beginning of my life, like from.
Wait, this has nothing to do with the case.
yeah,
What is the point of this? This is irrelevant. This is financial information. This has,
All right. Steve, can you repeat that?
This has nothing to do with the case. You can ask about what's at issue in the cross complaint. You can ask about what's at issue in the complaint. But his entire investment history is not at issue.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll come back to that, I should say. Have you ever been investigated by the SEC or any other regulatory body?
Never. I've never even had a subpoena. In all the years I've done this,
Have you ever been sued?
never.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
How long?
It'll be 3 years in November.
What's your wife's name?
Deborah.
Is that your business partner as well?
We were business partners long before we were married.
Have you ever been involved in any extramarital affairs?
Never.
Hold on a second. What is the relevance of that?
Have you ever
Why-
been?
No. Why are we asking about that kind
He's
of
already
stuff?
answered.
Sorry.
Have you ever been accused of sexual harassment or misconduct?
What possible relevance can that have to this case? I instruct him not to answer.
Are you aware of any defamatory posts made about you on social media?
I mean, this is a joke, right? I mean, yeah, he's sitting right there.
Okay,
of course.
so aside from Mr. Sharp, are you aware of any other defamatory posts about you on social media?
Of course, and I understand exactly where you're trying to go with this, so let's just speed it up a little.
Let's go off for a second.
Wait a second.
Let's take a
Hold
break.
on a second.
Archie, come on.
Let's take a break.
Off the record.
Sure.
You look
Time
so much
is
fatter in
10:11
person, Jesus.
a.m. Look like so